that all this distortion of India's history primarily is done by two people. One is the British and second is the leftist historians.
But how this narrative came, like Islam is for the last 1000 years they are just invading, so they are the oppressors. So when was the period then when they were the oppressed in any part of the world or any time?
You are making a mistake of thinking logically.
Okay, there is no logic.
There is no logic.
There is no logic.
There is no objectivity. You can't have a rational argument with the leftist people.
Namaskar sir.
Namaste.
Welcome to Bhaks.com.
Thank you.
In this very nice occasion of Western Ghar Lit Festival.
Right.
And we are honored to have you on our channel. Bhaks, we have Shri Abhijit Joag ji together with us. And today we will talk about his contribution to society, to Bharat, and what his books and his works is telling. So we will start, sir, with where all this started from, founding your company, or after that, where this all authoring and writing content about Bharat started.
Actually, I founded my company, then built it up. So I was very busy doing my profession and my business for a long time. But finally, at one point, I thought that I should write about branding because I'm in the business of branding, advertising, and things like that. So the reason why I thought of that idea was that Maharashtrians, I come from Maharashtra, and I believe that Maharashtrians are always very poor in branding themselves.
Why so?
Because there is a certain thought process in Maharashtra which says that you should not talk about yourself.
Okay.
They believe that my work will do the talking. I need not talk about myself.
Yeah, but Maharashtra has given biggest brand Shivaji Maharaj.
That's right. But that happened in some other era.
Yeah.
But today, when it comes to business, I think you need to build your own. You have to be conscious of branding, basically. So if you ask a Maharashtrian industrialist to invest a crore of rupees in a new machine, he will do it without batting an eyelid. Okay. But if you ask him to invest 25 lakhs in branding his company, he will think 10 times. Because branding is something which is intangible. And Marathi people have that thought process that show me what you're talking about, then I will invest.
What is that?
So I will not invest in something which is going to give me results after some time. That is a kind of psyche, you can say. But I feel that is causing damage to Maharashtrian industrialists and Marathi people in general. So I thought I will write that book. Okay. And I wrote Brand Nama in Marathi specifically. After that, after a couple of years after I wrote that book, or maybe 3 or 4 years, then I thought of writing a book on India's history. Because I was having a feeling all the time. I have been interested in history right from my childhood. I was a very voracious reader, and I always enjoyed reading about history.
Okay.
And I realized that India's history has been completely distorted. Whatever has been fed to us as official history, there were many questions in my mind, especially about Aryan Invasion Theory, which says that Aryans came from the West. They were the white people with golden hair and blue eyes.
Yeah. They
came into India and then they created Sanskrit language and Vedic culture in India. It somehow didn't add up because this theory has been sold to us as official history. Everybody in the world believes that this is how it has happened.
Yeah.
But I had great doubts about it. So I said, let me figure out whether my doubts are really well founded or this theory is actually correct. And then I studied a lot and I realized that there is not a single evidence to support this theory. Not a single evidence.
Okay.
In fact, there are enough evidences to show that it is completely fake and wrong. Then I said, let me again look at some other facts of our history. Like we have always been told that our history is a story of defeats. Invaders came from the west and northwest, They kept enslaving us, and we kept losing all the time. Again, I found that this was completely wrong. Because if that was the case today, our ancient civilization would not have survived.
It should have wiped.
If it has survived, that means we have done something right. And somewhere we have resisted. We have not always been defeated. So when I studied thoroughly with the proper sources, I realized that yes, I was right, that our history is not a story of defeats, but it's a story of resistance. And there are enough and more evidences for that. So I wrote that book. Then again I had a certain feeling that all this distortion of India's history primarily is done by two people. One is the British and second is the leftist historians. So the British colonialism has now already ended, but the left is still very much surviving. So I thought that let me study what is this leftist ideology and why do they want to destroy India's history? Why do they want to destroy India's identity? And what is it all about? What this leftist ideology is all about?
So just I am holding just to first have a clarification. Leftist, communism and Marxism, are these three different ideologies or they all are same?
No, fundamentally
because
the
politically same. When you see they become one.
Yes.
CPI, CPIM, there is one Marxist ideology, one is Leninist ideology, but they all are same.
Correct.
So is it one or is it different?
Fundamentally it is the same thing.
Okay.
Ideology is the left ideology. It was made into a particular philosophy by Marx, and as a political party, it is communist. You can say.
Leninist also.
Lenin is also a follower of Marx.
Yeah.
So Marx, Lenin, Mao, that is a continuous tradition, which belongs to Marxist ideology. But Marxist ideology is nothing but narrating the leftist ideology in a particular manner.
So parent is left.
Overall universe is left.
Okay.
In that Marxism is kind of putting it together in the form of a theory.
Okay.
And representing that in politics is Communist Party, you can say. So it's one and the same. Fundamentally, it's one and the same.
Okay. So we are talking about your books.
Yeah. So another thought I had in mind, or you can say hypothesis in my mind, is that when Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, I thought that after that, as a revenge against that particular event, Marxists must have gone to the US and captured their universities, because I knew that universities in USA are completely under the influence of the Marxists. So I thought that how did it happen? So I had a hypothesis in my mind that just to take a revenge against the fall of Soviet Union, they must have gone to the US and captured the academic circle of the United States. So again I thought, let me find out whether this hypothesis is correct. And when I started studying it, I realized that not after 1991, but way before that, there was another school of Marxist ideology which had evolved, which took the initial basis of conflict in Marxism, because Marxism is all about conflict. In simple words, Marxist ideology is to divide the society between oppressors and oppressed, then inflame conflict across this fault line. That conflict should lead to anarchy. Anarchy should lead to violence, and violence should lead to destruction. That is in essence the leftist ideology or Marxist ideology. And the basis for this conflict in classical Marxism, which was propagated by Marx, was economic. So it was a capitalist against workers, or rich people against poor people. So basis of the conflict was economic. But this new school of thought, new school of Marxism, said that economic fault line is not enough. They said that people in the Western world workers and poor people in the Western world are not getting attracted towards Marxism or not embracing Marxist revolution is because they consider the Western civilization and Western culture as their own. And as long as we don't destroy this Western civilization and Western culture, these people will not accept communism. So instead of economic fault line, they shifted it to cultural fault lines. And then instead of one fault line, it became many fault lines. Because every facet of culture, they used as a fault line. Like for example, in the West, it is race is one of the fault lines. So white people against black and colored people. In India, it becomes caste. So upper caste versus lower caste. That is one fault line, one aspect of culture. Second is sex. So men versus women. So they completely perverted the feminist movement. And they gave it a shape as if men and women are enemies of each other. So one more fault line. Then language is the third fault line. Then you have, many more fault lines. Culture has many aspects, and on every aspect they convert it into a fault line. So this is called as cultural Marxism.
Okay.
And that was thought of in 1920s and 1930s, way back.
Okay.
Not in 1991. And when I realized this, and then I studied further, and I found out that they have prepared a complete detailed plan of how they are going to destroy Western civilization. And they have written down, actually.
It is written?
Written down how we are going to do it.
Okay.
And exactly that way they have done it over 100 years. So when I realized this, I said that this is something I must tell the world. Actually, when you write a book, when you feel that you have something that you have to tell everybody.
Yes.
So I thought that I must tell this.
So this is in Asatyamev Jayate.
This is in termites.
Termites.
Because this cultural Marxist, fundamentally it was proposed by Antonio Gramsci, who was the head of Italian Communist Party, and a group of professors from Germany called as Frankfurt School.
Okay.
So they had said that Marxist revolution was supposed to be a bloody revolution, coming from the barrel of a gun.
Okay.
Whereas these people, proponents of cultural Marxism, they said that it is going to be a long march through the institutions. So it will not happen overnight. It will not be a bloody revolution. But we will infiltrate the institutions that support culture. And we'll infiltrate them and weaken them from inside, like termites do.
Okay.
We will weaken them so much that one day that whole structure will collapse. And along with that, the culture will be destroyed. Because these are the institutions that support, that withhold the culture. So,
and why they want to destroy all this?
Like I said, that their basic idea is to, again, they have everybody, right from Marx, every communist has written it down, that we will destroy the human civilization which has evolved over thousands of years. And on that clean slate, we will create a new man and a new civilization. So this sounds very attractive and very romantic, creating a new man and things like that.
Yes.
But whenever they got an opportunity, they have not displayed any ability to create something new. They have, only thing that they have created is anarchy and destruction. So what they say and what they do is two entirely different things. So that is how they thought of this cultural Marxism.
And is this a reason that the whole this cloud, Marx, Lenin, left, they hate Hinduism? Because I heard somewhere that Nehru ji was also Marxist.
Yes.
And Marxism has one ideology that whatever is old is rubbish.
Correct.
The new one is coming, it's progressive.
Correct.
So Hinduism is the oldest. You said Sanatan, so that is why we consider you the most rubbish thing and you should be destroyed. And the new religions which are coming, they are progressive, they are better and people should adopt it. So is this the reason that most communist leftists, they support Islam, Christianity and they ridicule Hinduism, or there is other reason as well?
Actually, there is a little distinction that Marx and people belong to that school. They hated all religions.
Okay.
Because for them religion was regressive.
Yeah, but in India it is mostly that they hate Hinduism.
yeah, I'm coming to that. So Marx and people of that age, in that era, they said that all religion is the opium of the masses.
Yeah.
They used to say.
Yes.
And they disliked all religions. But cultural Marxism, which is also called as Wokism, they created something called as a critical theory. That is the foundation of their ideology.
Okay.
And in critical theory, they have a belief that people belonging to oppressor group can never be right.
Okay.
And people belonging to oppressed group can never be wrong. One element of that critical theory is postmodernism. And according to postmodernism, there is nothing like objective truth, or there is nothing like objective reality. So they call it moral relativism. So there are no logical or proper guidelines to decide what is moral and what is immoral. Everything is relative. Everything is subjective.
Okay.
So they have interpreted it in this manner that anybody who belongs to the oppressor class can never be right. So how he behaves, what he believes in has got no value.
It's very simple, like if we take an example.
It is all decided only by the identity.
That if you are having a road accident, so and the accident is between truck and car, then truck is the
correct, because he belongs to the absolutely right.
And if it is between car and motorcycle, then car driver is the
whosoever is the bigger one or a richer one is bad.
Yeah,
because he belongs to the oppressor class.
And this actually happens.
That happens on the road also. That is a normal way of thinking of people.
Yeah.
So, what they have done is they have kept Hinduism in the class of oppressors. They have kept Christianity in the class of oppressors.
Okay.
They have kept Islam in the class of oppressed.
Okay. Why?
Just because. I mean, like I said, that there are no objective parameters.
Okay.
So, whatever they want, they can decide.
They are just doing it.
They are just doing it because they want to create anarchy.
Okay.
So, Islam is the best force or power that can help them to create anarchy in the world.
Okay.
So that is why they promote Islam everywhere. Because with Islam is fundamentally again anarchist. They are fundamentally violent. So they will always help them to create anarchy, violence and destruction, which is their objective. So in India, calling Islam as oppressed and Hinduism as oppressor is a big irony actually. Hindus have been oppressed for last 1000 years by the invading Islamists. But they take their own decision and place different groups under different categories. So because they identify Islam as oppressed, they believe that they can never be wrong. And but Hindus are oppressors, so they can never be right.
But how this narrative came? Like Islam is 2000 or 2500 years old.
No, 1400 years old.
1400 years old. For last 1000 years, they are invading India. At least the greater Bharat, if we say Pakistan, Bangladesh and everywhere. So for the last 1000 years, they are just invading. So they are the oppressors. So when was the period then when they were the oppressed in any part of the world or any time?
You are making a mistake of thinking logically.
Okay, there is no logic.
There is no logic. There is no objectivity.
Okay.
Whatever you are saying is objectively correct, logically correct. But that's what they are saying, that there is no objective truth. There is nothing like objective reality.
Okay.
So once you accept that there is no objective reality, then there is no argument. So that is why you can't have a rational argument with the leftist people.
Okay.
You just try. You will never be able to proceed, because they simply don't accept logic and reason. So, and that is their theory. I mean, it's again written down in their critical theory that there is nothing like objective reality, there is nothing like objective truth. Everything, morality is all subjective, and it depends on the identity. It is decided by the identity. So they are not hiding it. They are openly saying it. Only thing is, we again and again try to be logical and rational with them, because that is what we believe in.
because that's how you can argue.
Exactly.
Based on evidences,
Exactly.
based on proofs.
But that kind of argument can never succeed with them.
So, when this evidences thing came, I just want to know. I mean, you are a businessman, you are running a business, and that is also very, time taking. You need lot of efforts, everything. How do you get time to do research on these books? And what is level of your research? Means to what extent you have been to, like, let's talk about this book Termites. I think you have to read all the Marxism, Leninism, leftist culture, and from 91 how Russia became communist.
Correct.
So how this research?
Actually, I'll tell you how I find time is primarily because my business I have practically handed it over completely to my son.
Okay.
So whenever he and his team has any doubt, they will talk to me, ask me, and ask me for my guidance. But otherwise, I don't spend too much time there.
Okay.
So I spend all the time doing this.
Okay.
That is number one. And second is all these subjects are so complex and so serious that it really needs a lot of research.
Yes.
And especially because you are taking on the left. And they are very thorough in research, and they have created a very big aura of scholarship around their ideology.
Yeah.
And if you are not sure of what you are talking, they will tear you apart. So that is why you have to be very, very sure of every sentence that every statement that you are making. And that's why I do a very thorough research. Whatever I am saying everything is backed by references. And facts. Okay. So nobody can say that this is something out of. You're manufacturing something. It's not like that. Everything, every statement, every quote that I am making, I can back it up with.
So you read books written on leftism by the right people or by the left?
Both. In fact, more by the left only, because we have to find out what their. If you want to study their ideology, you have to first study their own books, and then maybe commentary on them by other people.
Okay.
Like on leftist scholarship, especially by this Frankfurt school and their critical theory, they have developed a style of writing very, very complex language, which nobody will understand. So very roundabout manner, using a lot of jargon in such a way that it will be very difficult to actually interpret it
for a common person.
For a common person or even for an academician.
Okay.
So there is a great philosopher called Karl Popper, who was supposed to be the greatest philosopher of the 20th century. He says that actually you should write in a very simple language, which everybody will understand. Then only there can be rational discussion.
Yes.
So he says that these people write in a very complicated roundabout language because they don't want any rational discussion. They are not sure of that their ideology will stand up to a rational analysis.
Yes.
So this is something which Karl Popper has said, which I write from his commentary, which I read from his commentary, and then I quote that. But basically, when I'm describing their ideology, I have to read their books.
Okay. So this is research about leftism and communism. I mean, the authentic data can be found because it's not very old.
Not at all.
400, 500 or 600 years old.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to Bharatiya Darshan, your book about Asatyamev Jayate and Bharat, that is India, then you would have done research on Indian texts, Veda, Shastra, or many commentaries.
Correct.
So authentic, do we have any authentic content to read, or we have only commentaries? Like if we say ki, do we have Ramcharitmanas, original Ramcharitmanas? I don't think so. Or maybe Valmiki Ramayana. If somebody says ki, do we have original Valmiki Ramayana to do research?
Valmiki Ramayana is there, which is copy made by some very, very serious researchers about Valmiki Ramayana. But Valmiki Ramayana is one thing. Now there are two different books and two different sets of references that I need. For example, like Asatyamev Jayate is about from ancient times to India's independence movement. So ancient times, you can refer Vedas, for example. Rigveda is there, Samaveda, Atharvaveda. All these 4 Vedas are there. So from there you can get references of that particular age. For example, Aryan invasion. If Aryans came from the west, from the south of Russia, as the proponents of that theory say, and then they came to India, and then coming here they wrote Rigveda. Then in Rigveda there should have been some references of their journey of thousands of kilometers. Then what they found when they came to India, how they found everything is completely different. So there is not a single mention of anything like this. The geography that Rigveda mentions is only the Indian geography. They don't mention any single place which is outside of India towards the west. So that is the reference that I quote, cite as an evidence against Aryan invasion theory, for example.
Okay.
Then there are many other disciplines like archaeology. So whatever has been found in the Indus civilization or Sindhu-Saraswati civilization, if people from the west had come and destroyed that civilization, as the proponents of the theory say, then there should have been some evidences which were found in those excavations, which have happened in Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Rakegadi, Kalibanga, all these places. Not a single evidence is there of somebody from outside coming and destroying that particular civilization. So that is how I find the references, and that is how I find again, if you see the genetical study and analysis done by very, very well-known geneticists, then there is no evidence to suggest that people from the west have come and their genes have been mixed with Indian genes. Nothing like that, at least not till 1000 BCE. So that is how you find. And when it comes to Bharat, that is India, which is more about India's philosophy and things like that. Again, the philosophical text like Vedas, Upanishads, Darshanas, they are all available. There is nothing.
Yeah, but my point was, sir, about Vedas is that, as you are saying, that Marxism's ideology was to destroy the academics, and academics is our books. So if somebody has printed Ramayana 500 years back, maybe some Marxist has added some chapter or some data into it, which is actually not the real Mahabharata or Ramayana. Like many people, they find many contradictions, like Sita ji's Vanvas after when Ramji took the throne. In Ramcharitmanas, which we read today, I mean, I have also read Gita Prasa Gorakhpur, that chapter is not there, and they said because Tulsidas ji didn't wanted to mention this, and then he thinks that Sita ji lived happily and Lavkush born in the Ayodhya Mahal itself. So, is it somebody who has written this, edited after this Marxism, Marxist ideology, and where would I get the original Mahabharata written by?
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Actually, what happens is Ramayana and Mahabharata, there are umpteen versions.
Yes.
I mean, Tulsi Ramayana is again not the only version. No. So many different Ramayanas are there.
That is anyway written in Bhakti Ras. It's
correct.
Not
exactly. That is not history in any case. But when it comes to Ramayana, you have to refer to Valmiki Ramayana.
Yes.
And when it comes to Mahabharata, you have to refer to Vyasa's Mahabharata, not any other Mahabharata.
Yes.
And very renowned institutions like Bhandarkar Institute in Pune, which is a very, very respected and renowned
Bori.
So they have created an edition of Mahabharata after taking into account everything, that what could have been added later. There are many ways to find out because the style of language also changes. Sanskrit in Mahabharata times and Sanskrit in later times, there is difference. So by studying that, they have come out with an edition which they say that this is the real Vyasa Ramayana, and that is trustworthy. We can
which we say S.L. Bhairappa ji's Mahabharata from.
That is a novel. That is not an evidence.
That is
like Parva.
Bori has given
Bori has created a proper Vyasa Mahabharata.
Okay.
So in Vyasa's words only, whatever Vyasa has written, they have edited out things which they feel were added later. And they have created an authentic Mahabharata edition.
So you are saying that is it possible that any one manuscript, maybe it is copied, but coming from the original script written by Vyas ji, and it still exists?
Yes, very much.
That same book?
Yes. A single change has happened in Rigveda from the time it was written till today. Because that has been the importance given to the preservation of Vedas in our tradition.
So it is happening genetically? Or?
No. Vedas, especially in case of Vedas, they were given so much importance and so much priority that there were certain families of Brahmins who were given that task of doing only that. So their job was only to learn Vedas by heart, keep reciting them, and pass it on to the next generation.
So, are you talking about these Trivedi, Chaturvedi? Oh my God.
Exactly.
That's a different revelation.
Yeah. So, today's every Trivedi may not be doing that. But
yes, of course.
Still there are certain Brahmin families who do only that work. And to make that possible, so that the learning by heart, recitation and chanting should be perfect, a special Vedic language was developed by those rishis. So you have Chhand Shastra. So in certain meters that chanting is done.
Yes.
So it becomes easier to chant and easier to remember. So there is certain meter in which every Veda and every Sukta is written. And that's why those people can chant in that particular manner and remember it. So no mispronunciation.
So you are talking about Vedanga Chand?
Yeah, Chandas. Chanda Shastra is a complete. Vedanga Chanda is particularly for Vedas.
Okay.
But there were many other Chandas also. And that through that Chanda Shastra, a lot of concepts in mathematics have also evolved.
Okay.
I mean, our Chanda Shastra was so developed and so evolved that there is something called as Fibonacci sequence, which is used in mathematics, and then there are many other applications.
Yes.
But that particular sequence was first developed by Rishi Pingala, who was an expert in Chanda Shastra. He was not a mathematician.
Okay.
But while working on Chandas, he developed this Fibonacci sequence. So that kind of perfection was achieved in chanting Vedas. And that's why Vedas, in case of Vedas, there is no doubt that the Rigveda today and Yajurveda today is exactly like what it was when it was written or created.
So I think something different coming up now, sir, that we were looking from the script wise, which is the oldest script available.
Correct.
We are not thinking from this smriti wise.
Our parampara is Maukik parampara.
Yes, Maukik parampara, and that is still continuing. We are just ignoring this.
Exactly. So what happens is we are influenced by the thinking of the West. We always think like the Westerners think. So we believe the history that they think is correct is the only correct history. But that is not our way of preserving history, preserving scriptures was different. And that is even more effective because
that is one of the biggest revelation that we were saying that Maukik parampara was there over a time, but we never realized that this Maukik parampara is still going on.
Yes.
And these Trivedis who are for three Vedas, Duvedi for.
Correct.
I mean, in India we have many surnames based on these paramparas.
Yes.
And these paramparas are coming because this Maukik parampara is continuing into those castes.
Correct. And in our tradition, the biggest importance was given to Vedas.
Yes.
So they said that no fiddling with Vedas. So they said we don't want it to be preserved in the written fashion. Because then there can be flood, there can be fire, there can be many other things. Like Nalanda University was burnt. So if Vedas were present only in the form of a book or grantha, who knows, they might have been completely lost. But because it is Maukik, it can never be lost.
It can never be lost. I think this is one of the greatest thing we have never understood. And I think this is how, if we go towards Khalsa Dharma, Sikhism, The same thing Guru Govind Ji thought, I think.
Yes.
That after Dasma Guru, 10th Guru, there will be no Guru.
No gurus.
This book is our Guru,
correct.
and it will be in everybody's heart.
Correct.
Now you destroy us.
Exactly. Because then you can't make any change.
Yeah.
It's over. This is final.
And he understood because he is also coming from
He's
the same
coming from the
lineage.
same tradition.
Same
Yes,
tradition.
Same lineage. Precisely. All Indic religions like Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, they are all part of the same Sanatan umbrella basically.
Obviously. Wow, that's one of the greatest, I think, discourse came out of this discussion, sir. And I think nobody was thinking in this way.
Correct.
What you have clarified. So I would suggest my readers to read Abhijit sir's books. There are three main famous, most required book which should be read: Asatyamev Jayate, Termites, and Bharat, that is India.
Correct.
And his books are really well researched, and I think our viewers would have come to know that what kind of research is being done, which we were not thinking about, the Maukik Parampara. So it was really great talking to you, sir. And we hope that our viewers will read your book and they will understand even more about your research.
Thank you very much.
So before closing, I just want to have your final message to our viewers and especially youth across the globe, Hindus. What should be their way of life and what is your message to them?
I think the most important thing is to know our real history and understand what is our real identity. Because if we lose our history, if we forget who we were, from where did we come, how did we reach here, then our life becomes almost like body without backbone or ship without an anchor. So losing your identity is the biggest loss. And that has been imposed on us first by British imperialists and then by leftist historians. So if you have to understand what is our history, who we are, what is our identity, then I would request you to not just read my books, because my 3 books are fundamentally dedicated to this. So if you read Asatyameva Jayate, for example, you will understand what our history is. Our history is not a story of defeats, but it's a story of heroic resistance. We were not given everything by the left, but everything of value was created in our own country. So we need to understand this, because otherwise this has been done primarily because to destroy our self-respect and our self-confidence. And if you have to regain our self-respect and self-confidence, then it's very important that we understand our history. We identify with our real identity. Today our country is rising and nobody can stop us. But if we regain our self-confidence, we can regain our self-respect, and we really understand who we really are, then our growth will be much faster, and 21st century will be India's century. So I wish you all the best, and I'm sure you will do the right reading and understand exactly what India stands for.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank you
very much for coming here.